Antinarcotics Operation in Colombia. Colombia has been fighting the war against narcotics trafficking for almost 30 years. And thanks to the professionalism and commitment of the anti-narcotics personnel, we are winning it. The Anti-Narcotics Direction of Colombia's National Police is an elite unit that works on three key mission processes aimed at the prevention of production, trafficking and consumption of drugs. Thus, we provide education to prevent drug consumption. We develop procedures to eradicate illicit crops and carry out shock operations in jungles and mountains to destroy industrial laboratories where cocaine is processed. All supported with the corresponding actions of intelligence, judicial police, aerial support and an effective control in the ports and airports of the country, not putting aside the rational and efficient management of the resources given at our disposal. The area of prevention aims at the development of one of the policial functions established by the Constitution, which is the prevention, and in this case, regarding the problem of drugs consumption. Police instructors, using a pedagogical package in schools, universities and in public and private companies, teach students, teachers, parents and employees about the consequences of drug addiction and how to resist this problem based on respect, human values and ethics, all in an integral program with classes in the academic pensum. As a fundamental strategy in the fight against narcotraffic, the area of illicit crops eradication develops four processes within its operation in the entirety of the national territory, based on technical arguments and satellite images to detect illicit crops. Then it carries out the aerial aspersion of them using special aircraft with the herbicide glyphosate, which falls punctually on the plants, destroying the plantations. Thereafter, technicians within a specific environmental control plan and under the supervision of the public ministry carry out an evaluation of the aerial operations in order to verify the effectiveness of the eradication, with visits to the aspersed zones, using cameras from air and land to measure with certainty the effects on crops, as well as the collateral damages, as it is frequent to find between coca and amapola legal crops such as plantain, yucca, oil palm and corn, a fact that makes even more difficult aspersion missions. Currently, the Colombian National Police has several fumigation planes, among them AT-802, T-65 and OV-10, and Bell 212, Huey and Black Hawk helicopters for security escorting during the missions. Aspersion of illicit crops has forced narcotics traffickers to modify the traditional planting ways, making peasants become nomads, up to the point to take them to ecological sanctuaries such as natural parks and Indian reservations, compelling the national police to change its dynamic and use other strategies such as manual eradication of coca and amapola plants. This manual eradication, jointly developed with the High Council for Social Action of the Republic's Presidential Office, is carried out by mobile groups, comprised mainly by peasants and demobilized, who are escorted by policemen and members of the military forces trained in operations against insurgency and narcotraffic, with the fundamental function of getting there where aerial aspersion cannot reach. In a very important mission, the interdiction area takes charge of all the processes leading to locate and destroy coke-based and cocaine chloral hydrate production laboratories, as well as the dismemberment of networks of narcotics dealers. as well as exercise a strict control to the introduction of chemical substances that are the base for drug manufacturing. It also intervenes in the control of asset laundering and in the actions of interdiction to expropriate lands from those profiting from illegal drugs trafficking. In addition, it also has a group of control of civil aviation and ships. As in the narcotics trafficking chain, drugs are mobilized by land, sea, and air. To execute its task, it is divided in 5 zone commands in the 4 cardinal points and in the center of the country, located in the cities of Santa Marta in the north, Tuluá in the west, San José del Guaviare in the east, Villagarzón in the south, and Bogotá, each one having an air mobile company comprised of expert jungle commands and aerial base, along with intelligence and judicial police groups, necessary to complete the mission of neutralizing the evil of narcotics trafficking. The Anti-Narcotics Direction currently has 5 specialized units dedicated to working directly against narcotics trafficking. The Intelligence Group, in charge of accruing all the necessary information for the identification of targets, whether they are individuals or infrastructures such as laboratories. Follows the Investigative Unit of the Judicial Police, which is in charge of supporting operations in judicial matter, with the aim of gathering all the necessary elements for judicialization of delinquents. There is also a group dedicated specifically to the control of chemical substances, which oversees the commercialization, deviation, and traffic of controlled substances in all the national territory. The Special Investigative Unit Against Asset Laundering aims at the judicial demonstration of the illegal nature of the monies invested by traffickers in legal businesses, specially represented in goods and vehicles, to be thereafter confiscated and put at the disposition of the National Direction of Stupefactions. Finally, there is a special group assigned to heroin trafficking, a unit that has achieved important results in terms of seizure and dismemberment of networks trafficking the drug, and which has gained the admiration and respect of local and international organizations such as the DEA, the CIA, and the FBI. Maritime and airports control plays a key role in the fight against narcotics trafficking. The Anti-Narcotics Direction has operative bases in the main ports, such as Buenaventura in the Pacific, and Barranquilla, Santa Marta, and Cartagena in the Caribbean. It likewise controls the logistics of exports in the main airports of the country, particularly in Bogotá, as almost 80% of the country's air cargo is mobilized through the El Dorado International Airport. Colombia's National Police has specifically trained personnel for these purposes, with the diverse group for subaquatic inspection of ship hulls to avoid transport of cocaine adhered to them, canine guides for dry cargo inspection, and a highly qualified human resource, expert in handling export cargo and travelers. The Police Aviation Area provides air support to all anti-narcotics operations against organized crime throughout the country, with platform-type aircraft with a crew dedicated to aerial intelligence, key in large-scale police actions, DC-3 planes dedicated to the transport of personnel, and all the logistics needed for anti-drugs missions in any place of the national territory, and a fleet of Black Hawk helicopters with an outstanding versatility and performance that are employed in tasks of illicit crops eradication, destruction of laboratories, and frontal confrontation of illegal armed groups. The Police Aviation Area has a modern infrastructure with modern hangars where fixed and rotary wing aircraft receive the necessary maintenance to avoid shortcomings in the service, and they are acknowledged as the best in Latin America. Its pilots are qualified and have received instruction in the United States to carry out high-risk operations. The anti-narcotics personnel at the National Police of Colombia continue dedicated to the elimination of the illegal drug business, and with the commitment of the other nations of the world, we are going to succeed to deliver a drug-free world to the new generations. Our sacrifice is priceless.